The first song I want to recommend to you today is Johnny Cash doing the song 13. Coming off of his first American recordings record, this is actually a cover of a Danzig tune, but Cash absolutely nails it, quickly making his the superior version. The simple arrangement of Johnny Cash's voice and an acoustic guitar never gets old, and though the words may have been written by someone else, they absolutely work with the overall badass persona of Johnny Cash. If you don't know this one, track it down, thank me later. Next up, Black Flag's track, Room 13. There's no question that Black Flag's Damaged album was a watershed moment for hardcore music, as a number of the songs on this album remain cornerstones for that scene. As the first full album with Henry Rollins on vocals, the lyrical assault is absolutely brutal, and though the downtrodden and pained words here fit perfectly with Rollins' writing, the song was actually penned by Greg Ginn. As always, that unmatched urgency and intensity that Black Flag brings is present here, and it's one of the best yet overlooked tracks on that album. Check it out. The last song I'm gonna recommend to you guys this week comes from the Pixies, and it's their song, Number 13, baby. This is one of my favorite moments in the Pixies catalog, as the vocals really sound like nothing else they did. You can really hear in this song where so many bands took a huge part of their sound, and the guitar progression that happens about a minute in has been lifted and copied countless times over the years. The Pixies are icons for a reason, and while you should know the entire Doolittle album by heart, this is as good as any a place to start. Switching over to albums, I'm gonna recommend this week that you check out 13th Floor Elevators and their album, The Psychedelic Sound. Rocky Erickson is one of the most intriguing characters in all of music history, and this album is easily one of his most impressive musical moments. From the opening scream of You're Gonna Miss Me to the really strange sounds of Fire Engine, this record simply has no parallel anywhere else. I mean, they use an electric jug. What's not to love about that? But perhaps the most overlooked aspect of this record is how far ahead of the rest of the psychedelic sound it was. You can't deny the massive influence that this record had all across the world of music. It's unquestionably an essential part of music history and an essential part of every music collection. My final album recommendation comes from Hüsker and their record, New Day Rising. Going to another classic from SST Records, over the years this album has really taken on a life all its own. The amount of impact that New Day Rising has had is impossible to quantify, as it stands as a critical point in the progression of so many different musical styles. The fuzz of the guitars and the almost wild drive of the band is about as addictive a sound as you'll find anywhere, and the way they create diverse vocals all across this album become an ideal finishing touch to an outright landmark recording. Whether you're a fan of killer guitars, a pummeling rhythm section, or superb vocals, it's all right here, and New Day Rising is simply a record I cannot recommend highly enough. So those are my recommendations for this week. Be sure to check back here every Sunday for more music suggestions, and be here every day for all the music news, reviews, and knowledge you'll ever need.